afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeremy Mercado. Today I'd like to talk to you guys about living a healthier lifestyle. There are various different ways to live healthier. Some of you might think, why do I need to live healthier? I'm good, I'm comfortable where I'm at. Well, before you think that, let me just share a personal story about my past. So, you may not think it looking at me now, but when I was a child, I was really fat, unhealthy fat. And I had a very close friend who was also fat. He was actually diagnosed with obesity. Anyway, when we were kids, we loved pro wrestling. So we grew up, we did a lot of backyard wrestling. We were even part of the backyard wrestling organization in our neighborhood. We both wanted to grow up and be in WWE together. When I was 13, though, I got sent to military school. I remember one day I called my mom, and she had informed me that he had been hospitalized doing backyard wrestling. It wasn't until a little bit after I got home to where I found out that actually he was hospitalized, but he actually had a stroke in the middle of doing a backyard wrestling match. And it was largely due to the fact that he was obese. And shortly after, his family and him ended up leaving, and I didn't see or hear from him again. He was 14 years old when that happened to him. So you see, I lived and I've seen how living unhealthy affects you. And because of that, this is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. So in this speech, I'll be talking about some serious problems that could happen if you do live an unhealthy lifestyle. But it'll be mostly geared towards obesity. And what could possibly happen to you in the future if you live or continue to live an unhealthy lifestyle. So the biggest problem with living unhealthy is that it causes a serious chronic disease known as obesity. A major issue that obesity causes is type 2 diabetes. An example of this is from an article I found on Obesity Society, which states that almost 9% of people living with type 2 diabetes are obese. Another example of this is that people who are obese have added pressure on their body's ability to use insulin to properly control their blood levels and therefore develop diabetes. Another huge problem living unhealthy can lead to is heart disease. Heart disease also can stem from being obese. One example of this I got from Stanford Healthcare website, which states that heart disease is present 10 times more often in people who are obese compared to people who are not. Another example is people that suffer from obesity have fat deposits built up in their arteries supplied to their heart, which reduces their blood flow, which in turn causes heart attacks. Now there are solutions, though, to help treat obesity. Dieting is one of them. An article from National Health Services website shows that to lose weight at a safe rate of 1 to 2 pounds a week, you would have to lower your calorie intake by at least 600 calories daily. Also, a low-calorie diet leads to rapid weight loss, which is actually recommended by doctors to people who suffer from obesity. Another way to treat obesity is through exercise. Exercising helps you maintain a healthy weight as you diet. It also greatly reduces your chances or your risk of type 2 diabetes. Exercising is highly recommended by doctors for people who suffer obesity because it has been proven to help reduce your appetite, help you get more sleep, and also lower bad cholesterol, which all in turn help promote your chances of losing weight. So if you ignore living healthy and continue to live unhealthy, like I stated before, it could possibly lead to you being obese, which also leads to other serious problems, like I discussed, with heart disease or type 2 diabetes. But beyond that, though, it also can affect you emotionally as well, your emotional health. Some examples of that is people suffer severe depression and or isolation. On average, 1 out of 6 people suffer from depression. Depression can have a severe impact on your mental and physical health, i.e., a rapid increase in weight. When you isolate yourself from others, it can become incredibly difficult to regain your ability to become sociable again. And it can eventually lead you to resent others and also hate others, even the people that are closest to you. So in this speech of how living unhealthy and unhealthy lifestyle can lead to a lot more serious problems, I strongly urge everybody to try and consider living a healthy lifestyle. Remember that you only need to do a little bit at a time. Some effort is better than no effort, and everybody's got to start somewhere. And if you don't know where to start, I know bodybuilding.com has tons of workout and diet plans. Are there any questions for me? Again, my name is Jerome Cotto, and thank you all for attending the speech.